Thanks for joining us. Tonight, another dose of hope for children ages 12 to 15. The FDA authorizing the emergency use of the Pfizer vaccine. But not everyone is welcoming the news. Anti-vaxxers skeptical about the doses despite the science, how their hesitancy may endanger America's path to herd immunity. Here's ABC's Trevor Ault.
I don't think that the government should be pushing anything medical on people. I don't want to go around every street corner seeing signs to get something medically pushed, or every commercial, or every time you open up social media, there's something medical there.
What Abigail Edwards says she values is freedom, the right to choose how she takes care of her family.
Hey, no, that's a tire.
The young mother of 3 raising her family outside Raleigh, North Carolina, she's a devout Christian and a conservative.
I believe that we are intricately created, and the things that we need have been provided to us by God.
And she's one of millions of Republicans reluctant to get vaccinated for COVID-19 and deeply suspicious of all 3 vaccines currently available in the U.S.
Do you think that there would be downsides to getting the vaccine?
Potentially, because we just don't know enough about it. We don't know the long-term effects of it. There's a list of adverse events that can happen. You can do that with any vaccination.
The vaccines have all been through a rigorous authorization process that included extensive clinical trials showing their effectiveness and safety.
What are the risks of getting vaccinated? Very low. What are the risks of not getting vaccinated? Very high when it comes to COVID-19.
And although millions and millions of Republicans have already willingly been vaccinated, the pandemic has shown America's deep political divisions have fully permeated public health issues.
I think it's pretty clear that one of the root causes of the vaccine hesitancy among Republicans in particular is the fact that the entire COVID-19 pandemic has been politically weaponized since Trump's presidency. Whether it was wearing a mask, whether it was socially distancing, now it's vaccines, which is just responsible behavior.
An ongoing research project by the Kaiser Family Foundation found 20% of Republicans will definitely not get the vaccine, more than any other demographic group. And while 58% of adults have received at least 1 dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, the vaccination rate in the United States has already slowed significantly. Last week, less than 2 million doses were administered per day, the lowest since March. 100 million adults are eligible for the vaccine and haven't gotten it yet. And the downturn is potentially jeopardizing the goal of herd immunity, creating the risk the virus continues to circulate through the general population for years to come.
The urge to vaccinate a significant percentage or the majority of a population really is twofold. Yes, it has to do with protecting you as an individual, but it also is important for protecting those around you. This is really not just about you, but it's about others as well.
But maybe the greater good isn't a strong enough sell. So across the country, there are new incentives.
You can get your shot on Tuesday, but it'll be a COVID vaccine, and then I will give you a beer.
Sites offering free beer, free donuts, even free baseball tickets. But health officials may have an uphill battle to reach some conservative holdouts where vaccine hesitancy in many forms is at times fueled by prominent Republicans like Kentucky Senator and physician Rand Paul.
Do you know why people don't trust the government? Because the government's saying, oh no, everyone's the same. Whether you've had the disease or not, you have to be vaccinated.
Senator Paul has not been vaccinated. He contracted COVID-19 at the very beginning of the pandemic, and a spokesperson tells ABC News Dr. Paul has developed an immune defense to the virus, which is the same goal and result of the vaccine.
Being naturally infected with COVID-19 absolutely does give some degree of immune protection. It's not as strong as that which we get with the vaccine.
And Fox News host Tucker Carlson broadcasting misleading information about the vaccine to his millions of viewers without saying if he got vaccinated himself.
Vaccine misinformation literally can be the difference between life and death for people. Misinformation, disinformation can cost people their lives. And if it's not your life directly, it could be someone that you love.
Do you think that misinformation is a problem?
Oh, yeah. I definitely think misinformation is a problem. I am very careful to share things that are solidly founded. I don't want to just, shoot things off because I'm very much a person of truth and integrity.
At what point, if you were to get sick, at what point would you say, maybe I actually should go to a doctor?
Okay, so first off, we do have an incredible chiropractor. So he's very trained in our body and in nutrients and stuff like that. So honestly, he's our first call. So we go there first. If my kids spike a fever or if my kids, are acting off, like that's our first resort.
Does your chiropractor have a medical degree?
He has like several degrees on his walls.
I'm Dr. Winstrup. I'll be giving you your shot.
Congressman and Dr. Brad Wenstrup from Ohio's 2nd District has a medical degree and is trying to combat the widespread fear and misinformation surrounding the vaccine firsthand.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And we are done.
An Army veteran who served in the Iraq War, on this day, his mission is personally administering the Johnson & Johnson vaccine at UC Health's vaccination center in Cincinnati.
It was an important message from the congressional side and the physician side to say corners weren't cut. Actually, more people were in these trials than most drugs have. Corners weren't cut. Bureaucracy was cut, red tape was cut, and sped up. Okay.
Every shot that Congressman Wenstrup administers is one less person likely to get sick and die from COVID-19.
Just last Friday, as I was getting the data for the greater Cincinnati area, where I serve and represent, we had 142 people in the hospital with COVID. Not one of them had been vaccinated. That tells you almost everything that you want to know.
The vaccines that we have right now are working, in what you're seeing.
They are working. There's no doubt about it that we're seeing those numbers drop. People talk about what's the vaccine going to do long term. I will tell you, I'm concerned about what the virus is going to do long term.
Wenstrup is the co-chair of the GOP Doctors Caucus, Republican doctors serving in Congress who created these PSAs.
As more Americans are vaccinated, we can get back to things that are important to us.
As a doctor,
encouraging millions of Americans, conservative or otherwise, to get vaccinated.
Talk to your doctor. Get all the information you need and decide which vaccine is best for you.
Why do you think that the hesitancy is so high among that group?
That's tough to say. I think in some regards, some people have felt like their freedoms have been taken from them. This vaccine was developed by Republicans and Democrats and independents.
And other Republicans are also publicly promoting the vaccine. Last week, Ivanka Trump posted she'd received her 2nd dose, writing that getting fully vaccinated is the best way to end this pandemic and protect ourselves and one another. And former Vice President Mike Pence even getting his shot on live TV last December while still in office. And President Trump's administration launched Operation Warp Speed, which helped develop the life-saving vaccines, a success of his term.
It's called Operation Warp Speed. That means big and it means fast.
We did something that is really considered a medical miracle. They're calling it a miracle, and that was the vaccine.
But some say the former president sent mixed messages about the vaccine.
Even though he went ahead and got the vaccine himself, he did it in silence. When he should have done it publicly, that would have been the responsible thing to do. And a lot of his followers, a lot of his supporters would have probably followed in his footsteps. We lost crucial time in getting that into people's mindset that it's okay and safe to take the vaccine.
You are at peace now with your family not being vaccinated?
Yeah, I'm at peace with that.
You got your sticker? You had your shot?
Still, Congressman Wenstrup is undaunted that despite any difference of opinion, he believes the country can work together to end the pandemic.
Well, I am hopeful that people see more of that and people feel good about the fact they've gotten their vaccination. We give them the stickers just like voting. I voted today, I got vaccinated today. And so I see that there's a lot of pride and relief for a lot of people. As one person said, I got some armor on now.
Our thanks to Trevor.